dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Today, we got a new Patrick CC. We got how one bad joke shattered a comedian's ego. So if you don't know, you've been laying under a rock. I'm surprised you clicked the video, right? But it's basically we're referencing the one line and one song of Kendrick Lamar GNX project, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when Kendrick referenced. I can't say it verbatim, but basically never let a white comedian
talk about a black woman.
Talk negative about a black woman. That's law. That's what, you know what I'm saying. And ever since, like Andrew Schulz does, if you don't know, he was I guess from everybody's point of view, mm-hmm. he's referencing Andrew Schulz. Mm-hmm. I didn't necessarily think he was referencing when I heard it, mm-hmm. referencing one comedian. I personally thought he was just referencing all white comedians. But thinking about it, looking at it, I was like, oh, and then when we figured out, I said, oh, I did forget that happened. You know what I'm saying? I forgot about the situation the whole situation, because so much comes and goes nowadays in this generation, you know? Mm-hmm. And 2024 has been a crazy wild year. You know, so that part I 100% forgot about. But we're going to see what Patrick got to say, how he going to break it down today, man. Make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first part, you got to do it. Check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
like it in with a thumbs up.
But let's hop into it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Kendrick Lamar delivered one line on his recent album that sent comedian Andrew Schulz on an all-out crusade to expose Kendrick for being a hypocritical liar that panders to social justice warriors for money and status. However, the more Andrew attempted to attack Kendrick, he just dug himself a deeper hole that he is struggling to climb out of. It all started in July of 2024 when Andrew hosted the UK podcast duo Shits and Gigs, whose real names are James and Fuhad. The pair are known to share their unfiltered opinions on sex, friendship, and relationships. And although those were large talking points throughout this pod, Andrew kept obnoxiously forcing race into his questions or topics.
Are there black people in the UK that are just black people?
I don't know anyone who's ever known a god.
Facts.
Ever.
No idea.
But that's like, you're asking the wrong guys. Like, that's the whitest shit.
Do they have black ones?
How's that type of question is the wrong question when we, you know?
So what?
No.
Say it.
I said how is that like? I don't know which one is James and I don't know which one is Fusat, whatever. How is that a wrong question to ask them? And they say, I guess you asking wrong people. You should be asking. Okay. I'm like, how is that a bad? But even a question leading like that can be taken slightly. It could be taken like in all types of directions, because this could be like Andrew Schulz trying to say, do y'all consider yourself black and British? Because then, way I'm saying, like, different people can take it, right? Because then why do, I guess, black Americans consider themselves black in America? You get what I'm saying? It could be taken that way. It could be taken, how do y'all say what y'all are in the UK? Then they should be addressing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm saying like...
I hear you and I understand what you're saying. I just,
And me looking at it, y'all would be the ones to answer those questions, because if y'all was in America with the American background, how would y'all consider yourself then? And then you would put yourself in the UK. Well, how do you consider yourself in the UK? But that's a whole nother topic that other people have went across. But that, honestly, to me, that was leading up to how the whole interview probably was gonna.
I'm just like, why? Okay, do we have anything else to talk about? Like,
why is race such a
like? People are just so like
fixated.
Like at this point, I'm just like, bro, if you ain't got nothing else to talk about or joke about or whatever about, then Yeah.
Black people love the front like they don't love America, and the second they leave, they be complaining about where the f they go.
A topic called the black girlfriend effect was brought up and sparked a much larger discussion online, and even Kendrick Lamar chimed in.
What is the black girlfriend effect? This is
You don't know
You
about
just
this?
glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
They grow a
step,
beard
they step their
because
dick
there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the f out of them.
That's hilarious.
I think the black girlfriend effect, it might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Yo, who gets
That means what?
Translation.
Kendrick fans? Get him!
It's very clear that James and Fuhad's description of the black girlfriend effect was to discuss white guys going through a positive transformation due to them settling down with a black woman. But they didn't make this up out of thin air. There was a trend recently on TikTok where white guys showed their transformations, such as elevating their fashion sense, growing out their facial hair, working out, or investing in self-care in general as a result of dating a black woman. It was a wholesome trend meant to highlight black women, inspiring their partners to be better versions of themselves. And in an attempt to be funny, Andrew decided to take the low road of leaning into tired old stereotypes of black women being mean, angry, and physically aggressive towards their partners. Now, Andrew's audience is very much used to him making jokes about other races and ethnicities, whether it be in his stand-up act or on his podcast.
Is that yours right there, bro? Latina? Okay. You gotta be careful with her. You on birth control? Maybe, maybe not. Nah, you need certified yes from them, okay? Don't with that pull-out method with Latinas. You come on a Latin girl's stomach, her belly button just opens up and takes that shit in, dog. Like fucking hungry hippos in there, dog. You gotta come on her back. That's why they call them wetbacks. That was a good ad. That's a Mexican right there. Only a Mexican could whistle like a bluebird.
You know oil money, and you're in the Middle East? Israeli? Oh, they don't have any oil. That's the one bad investment Jews have made.
Therefore, he didn't receive much backlash initially, but James and Fuhad's audience were taken aback by Andrew's persistence to keep the conversation about race. They were also disappointed that James and Fuhad laughed at what they deemed as racist jokes. As an American, this is the most ignorant conversation, hyperfixated on race and keeping people segregated based on stereotypes. That's humorous to these people? So unnecessary. They let this guy run too many black jokes. As a black man from the UK, I'm disappointed, I can't lie. Now, it's important to understand that James and Fuhad are known to be relatively non-controversial. They also have a large female fan base.
You think the energy, the negative energy from that episode was more targeted towards Andrew Schulz or the duo with Shits and Gillis?
From the majority of the stuff that I seen, which didn't see everything, just the little bits
The comments, yeah.
was towards them.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people's like, because like he said, a lot of people are aware that that's what Andrew Schulz does. Like, then did it for so long. That's just who he is, and it's like you'll be trying to work overtime to change somebody who's rooted in the way in their ideology of thoughts, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I think a lot of people looked at them as like, we thought y'all was better than that.
Yeah, a lot of the comments that I did see, because it's kind of like, okay, I don't expect nothing more from Andrew.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? But not saying it's like what he said.
Right or
like,
wrong,
I don't
yeah.
agree with the stuff that, you know, he say, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But with, I'm just going to call them the duo, because I don't know their names or who is who or whatever. But, and I don't want to mispronounce the name. But,
no, I'm saying you don't want to say this.
Yeah, and I want to, yeah. But in regards to that, I've seen a lot of people, it was the fact that y'all, like, people don't check people anymore. Y'all sit and y'all laugh and y'all kiki and y'all let people say things or get away with things. And then later on, y'all want to come back and be like, "Oh, we're sorry.
And
Oh,
then did you hear?
apologize, or oh, whatever." And I'm like,
So did you hear after the apology? You know what I'm saying? It also came out and was said that they had actually approached Andrew. And it was like, oh yeah, we was offended in the moment. They was like,
but they didn't
and
know
then
how
Andrew,
to.
hold on. Then Andrew was like, well, if y'all was so offended, why didn't y'all say cut that part out with the rest of the stuff y'all
Yeah,
said?
I watched it. Like
Okay,
I watched.
okay.
Yeah, I watched like the apology or whatever, and like I heard. Yeah, I remember them saying all of that, and I'm like,
which is true. If y'all had my thing, if y'all did have an issue and y'all knew y'all had an issue, why y'all didn't ask to get that part cut out as well?
if other parts were cut out.
So
but
what
I
was
don't
said
know
that
what's going on in the background. I don't know all of that, but yeah.
What was said also that we didn't get to hear that y'all heard that y'all was offended by?
That y'all deemed to be even worse than that part. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. To answer your question, I think they got most of like the backlash from it. And it needs to be everyone needs whatever. Like y'all can be mad at them as well for not, I guess, checking him in the moment, but also I feel like people like kind of like brush things on the rug because that's just who they are. Like they've been doing that. It's just like, but they don't make it right at the end of the day. But whatever.
It's true.
I'm not sensitive to things, but I am tired of the stereotypes of, you know, black women or black people, period, or whatever the case may be. But yeah.
I feel you.
So to see the two laughing at Andrew, a white guy who's making a joke at the expense of black women, rubbed their audience the wrong way. No one's going after Andrew Schulz because his whole shtick is edgy, offensive comedy. He is trying to be inflammatory. You can't shame a guy who has no shame about what he does in the first place. The fact S&G didn't see this coming a mile off is entirely on them. While James and Fuhad felt the heat from their fans online, they decided to apologize for not checking or reprimanding Andrew for his insensitive jokes.
First of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. When you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I would smack homeboy in the face, I would say this, I would do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Yeah, bro, move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is move on. Just move on to the next thing. Just move on to the next thing. It is our duty to protect you guys.
Facts.
And it is definitely not cool to be in that situation. And again, not be the ones to stand up and kick the cameras down. And we f***ed it on that occasion.
We did.
It's not going to happen again. And it's about being human. It's about realizing that you don't know what you're prepared for. You don't know how to prepare for something
you don't know
that you don't know what's
yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And once it's happened one time, you're like, all right.
You learn from your mistakes, and that's literally
You
learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, we f***ed it, and we're sorry.
You definitely do apologize.
Some of their fans felt that the apology was genuine. Sure, they laughed at the joke, but Andrew should be the one to blame as he is the one who actually made the joke. Others felt that the apology was insincere and that they still didn't properly acknowledge how hurtful these jokes are to black women.
As black women, we get beat down by every demographic, everybody's beaten on black women. Behaviors like the ones that these two have expressed and the ones that we all have experienced in our lives, they are hurtful. It makes us sad. It makes us angry. It makes us feel alone. And I think that it's important for us to use that kind of language in these kinds of conversations, because actions like what happened in this podcast, it's important to talk about how much this hurts, because it doesn't just hurt us as individuals, it hurts the black community.
Interestingly, Andrew used their apology to remind the world that he had no intentions of apologizing.
Any listeners here that are upset at us, we just want to let you know that you're going to stay upset, okay? What we're not going to do is sit here with our tucked between our legs apologizing on the podcast for jokes.
Andrew then proceeded to...
I'll say this. Andrew's combat to that is the delivery. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, me, if I am in that world as a comedian, whatever, I know I'm not apologizing for anything. Because once I apologize for one, I got to apologize for everything. And then from here on out, if I say something that's insensitive to anyone, I'm going to have to apologize. And I'm going to always have to apologize. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm not apologizing. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand on what you said, you know? Because at the end of the day, no matter what, if you're in that part of that world, you're gonna make jokes that eventually is gonna offend somebody. And then I'm always, well, you apologize to this group, why you didn't apologize? You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why I'm like, but it's the way you go about saying that I'm not apologizing. You know what I'm saying? Or just ignore it and keep moving on with your life. Like you could say literally, it's a joke. Do it, get over it, or keep it moving. But me, I sometimes you just don't address certain things. Mm-hmm. Because not only do people got a problem with James and how you say his name?
I said I was gonna remember.
That's what I said. But the duo, same way y'all was mad at the duo. There's another black man that's sitting on the couch that nobody even acknowledged the fact that he was laughing harder than they were. Mm. And it's this guy right here. Mm-hmm. So same way they get hatred, he should get the same hatred. Because he was laughing hard as hell.
Yeah, these are like guys in his
circle.
Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So laugh at him with the doodle lots.
Or be mad or address him or be whatever the case may be. But honestly, with never mind.
But but you get what I mean by that though. Mm-hmm. Like you just can't get mad at because they are the be like, hey, all y'all black men, you know what I'm saying, that was sitting on the couch, y'all, you know. Mm. But don't hold your tongue.
Come on.
To react to and mock James and Fuhad's apology.
How many years have we been doing this?
6, 7.
The past 7 years, where I've been saying that your people f*** mud.
Yeah.
And you've been saying that my people f*** sheep.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we've protected either of our people.
You know what? You're right. You're right. And it's our duty to protect people.
Scottish people, I just want to say that I apologize to all of you for letting this mud say we
Scottish people, I apologize that you're all so ugly that you have to sheep. I apologize for that.
It's our duty to protect people.
Andrew's co-host, Akash, then proceeds to speak on behalf of black women.
Oh, we have black female fans. I appreciate them so much. I think they must be so hurt by this. They're not hurt by this. You don't realize that.
You cannot speak for a black woman. You cannot speak for a black race when you're not of that race. You're not of that culture. You're not of that back and lineage. You have a black guy sitting here that I would hope will be able to speak 100%. Don't only speak because of who you are as a black man surrounded by white men, but speak on the behalf of your mother, your father, if you got sisters, you got cousins, your grandmother. Like, I want you to be able to be like, hey, let me not just think about myself in this situation as a black man that has the access that I have now. Let me speak for those who don't have that access to be able to have their voice heard right now. So, like, my thing is, no, like, Andrew, yeah, like, people were offended by that. And I'll be like, people were offended by that. You know, like, so on my behalf, there is some conversation we might have to have just to be able, but you know what I'm saying? It's a way you gotta go about it as a grown black man, that you just don't sit there, be quiet, and let somebody else speak on behalf of your race. Same way any other race would not let an outsider speak for their race. Mm-hmm. But it do come to the time period, I mean, not time period, but it does come like all the time where someone always speaks up and always has an input to speak on the black race that doesn't come from a black American. Mm-hmm. When I especially when I say black American race, I'm speaking of those who are lineage of slavery, right? I'm not talking about first, second, third generation immigrants that come from whatever. I'm talking about like people that have been deep rooted here, whose family and lineage have passed down stories of what they have to go through. Mm-hmm. The ones who have been through the civil rights and all that. Mm-hmm. Like, we still have grandparents who lived through brutality. Yeah. Still have great-grandparents who still are alive that could be able to tell you what they experienced growing up, you know? So that lineage is still here being affected by, you know? So, yeah, it's still sensitive. It's still a sensitive topic, right? So, I don't, like, but it's always when a black person speak up and say something, is can y'all stop? or somebody else would want to interject and speak on our behalf.
You're complaining. You're being too sensitive. Get over it. Get over this. Get over that. Da 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 da. Like,
or too many people want to speak on our behalf.
It's very tiring.
And I'm like, bro, quit asking just because they might be black, they might be African. No disrespect, but they don't understand because they don't have the stories, they don't have the knowledge of saying what we went through, right? Cool. That it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, not it is what it is, but it's just not the same. So asking another person who in America we deem
different
as
walks. Everybody walk is different. So sit asking certain people things about like.
What I'm trying to say is you can't ask another person who just represent a minority, like represents minority of America.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I was trying to help you because you were trying to find a word, and I was just I hate the word. Okay.
But it's fucked up. Like, every time we say something, it's complaining. But y'all always asking another person who you represent the minority, so speak on it. No. I don't, honestly, no disrespect. I would prefer him to speak for his culture, not for my culture, not for my black women. I just don't.
It is very tiring as a black woman because you do, like the girl said in the clip that he put in here. We like it's always an attack. We never feel protected by anyone, really, for real. Like, cause you have even black men that tear down black women. You have white men that tear. You have Indian people or whoever people, like whatever other cultures or whatever the case may be. Always like tearing down. It gets very tiring. So you never feel protected. So when we do speak or we do say something, oh, you been this, or oh, you been that, oh, da 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 da. Like, something gotta give. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Start feeling empathy for people that don't feel bad, that weren't hurt.
No black women were offended. The stereotype Andrew said is that black women are angry. Why would they try and stand up for themselves when y'all would just say, yup, look at how angry they are. That's black women for you. It's impossible to fight or debate with someone who really feels that way. You called them abusers, bro. They're not engaging with that nonsense. Akash and Andrew explaining the feelings of black women, many black women who are fans definitely canceled them. Whether it actually has an effect on the mass of their fan base remains to be seen. Also, I'm the only black woman I know who watches Flagrant. The podcast wasn't noticed because y'all don't have a large black women audience. Somehow the clip went viral and more black women were exposed to it. There's this phenomenon that happens.
That is true, though. You gotta, like, because I'll say this. If I go back home amongst, like, and every time we reference things, because, like, where we at now, the culture is a different culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go back home, I'm around way more black population than I am here. Mm-hmm. So that's when I always say that. But if I go back home and I ask people, do you know who Andrew Schulz is? Majority of the people, I'm going to say it's probably 15% of people say, yeah, I've heard of him. But majority of people going to be saying, nah, I don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, just on some real, because honestly, when it comes down to certain comedy and certain people, they just don't tune in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And we always, like, for a lot of things, they don't tune in too. Yeah. And we, like, even us, because we're not of that, we try to bring things back to them. There still is of the culture they just not aware of. Yeah. But that's the reason why when it comes down to it, even if y'all crack jokes about whatever, they're not knowing because they are not tuned into him. Right. So it's like it's insane I'm trying to think of. But it's like, if I don't know who you are, I'm not gonna know what you say. Yeah. Like it's gonna go wherever it. Majority probably Andrew Schulz. Majority, if you look at his analytics, are predominantly white men. Yeah. Or people who also look down on certain races. Let's be real. Yeah. They might not be white men, but they might be upper echelon of whatever their race is, and they look down on either their race and other races as well. Black, same, Indian, Hispanic, whatever. Yeah. There are people amongst their communities that they look down on their community and other communities as well. Yeah. That's just, it is what it is. And that's probably is predominantly Andrew Schulz following his support system.
Oh, and I want to say something, just to correct myself. And I don't feel that way about all black men. When I said we don't feel protected by any black men, not all, because I do feel by some, but not all. But yeah.
with podcast comedians today, where criticism is intertwined with cancel culture and comedians use it as a defense mechanism to essentially win every argument or justify their behavior. A comedian's job is to tell jokes with the goal of making people laugh. On stage, if they make a bad joke, people won't laugh. Maybe even in extreme situations, they might boo the comedian. This is commonly referred to as bombing on stage. When a comedian is bombing, do they start having a TED talk about how they are actually funny and they're just joking and that the audience needs to stop trying to cancel them and chill out? These are just jokes. No. They finish the set and they learn how to make their material better. Today, when comedians like Andrew Schulz get backlash online for bad jokes, they turn it into a think piece. They start casting blame on others for not laughing or understanding the joke. It's because you don't get it, or, oh, this is just cancel culture. And this is especially more common on podcasts because while stand-up is often written and more carefully crafted, podcasts are usually unfiltered conversations that go on for hours. So you're bound to miss a few times. You're bound to tell a few bad jokes, and that's normal.
But you want me to tell you the problem is with a lot of these podcasts is, and this generation of media, we put the label of a comedian on too many people who are not true comedians. They're not comedians of the art of comedy. They just because I can get a joke off doesn't make me a comedian. Like earlier in our day, like reaction days, a lot of people told me during. I know everybody has their own key fun, what's funny to them. What's funny, yeah. But a lot of people was DMing me, even commenting on a lot of reactions we used to do and said, "Hey kid, you should try stand up." I said, "Bro, I'm not a stand up comedian. I just can get off a joke here and there. Yeah. Half of the shit I say bomb. Yeah, like it is what it is, bro. It's like some of this, everything is not funny coming out of everybody's mouth. True. And like, no, I'm not a comedian. I might just crack a joke about off of what I see." That's just me from growing up being a class clown. But not every class clown can be a comedian. Yeah. And not every comedian is a class clown. A lot of y'all can't get off good jokes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a good comedian can make themselves the butt of the joke. And that's how I'm like, you're a great comedian. Or you know how to make your pain funny. And a lot of us know how to make our struggle be what lifts us up in life. Because you look at the positive out of struggle. But a lot of comedians, the reason why they ass not like comedy ain't the same no more. No, it's not. And it's because people put too many put the label on too many people. Man, bro, if all the legends were still alive today, the legends, the Red Fox, the Richard Pryors, the Bernie Macs, man, they'll tell all these wannabe I'm a podcast host / comedian that y'all are not funny. Yeah. They kept it real, and that's the problem nowadays. It's because we tell everybody that try your hand at it, like you just keep going. No, keep it real with these people. Tell them, hey, don't quit your day job, bro. You're not funny. True.
Miss a few times. You're bound to tell a few bad jokes, and that's normal. But for Schulz, considering his right-hand man Akash laughs every single time Andrew breathes, you can see why Andrew must think that all of his jokes are crushing with his millions of viewers. You can watch Andrew get a reality check in real time when Shane Gillis straight up told Andrew his joke was not funny, and Schulz immediately started blaming Shane for being politically correct.
Bro, Shane actually has been working out, dude. This is fucking crazy.
Let's see it. Hold on.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Bro, you look good. Is this from West Point?
That actually is.
Oh, nice.
You guys, and you know what?
That's his rival's profile picture.
Shane, can we click the video? I just want to hear the sound. I just want to hear the sound.
It's a Sue. It's a Sue. Nah, you look great, dog. Congrats.
I don't think that's funny.
But yeah, I see that. I see why.
Like you don't get it? You mean?
No, my guy's nice.
By the way,
that's wild.
These guys are awesome.
Yeah,
they're having fun.
Yeah,
for you guys to sit here and be like,
wait a minute,
let's bring it up and mock them. That's fucked up, dude. That's a dude. By using them as an insult.
We're using you.
So you're insulting them by saying I look like them? Or you're insulting me by saying I look like them?
This is you back in your victim thing.
No, I'm not being a victim. I'm saying the jokes you're doing it's not like...
It's not PC?
That's not cool.
You know what's really great?
Triggering?
You're making fun of these guys, Down syndrome dudes putting out TikTok videos.
Now, it doesn't seem that Shane was actually offended. He was trying to just be
Yeah, it wasn't that he was being offended by what y'all saying. He's just like, why are y'all making them the punch of the joke? If I'm supposed to be the punch of the joke, deliver the joke towards me, not make mockery out of them to deliver your joke on me.
Yeah.
That's not funny, bro. And then, you know what that was? That was the lame niggas in school. Sorry to use that terminology, but the lame dudes in school that literally used to pick on the kids that was in special needs class. You just like even in school we used to be like, hey bro, like why you messing with special needs class, bro? Like they can't help that. They were born that way. Like, but you're slow at, you know what I'm saying? Then we get on you and we roast the hell out of you. And now you getting mad, but we getting on you for getting on them.
Yeah.
Like that's how we used to handle. That's how we used to handle things. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, like we would put you in check. But now everybody who was the corny guy in school now is the ones who trying to get off the high school. You know what I'm saying? Jokes, and that shit lame, bro. Like I don't like. That's when like when we had reacted to certain things and we've just been like after the fact we like that shit really wasn't cool, bro. You know. We have like, because especially making the jokes of making things fun of those who really are born that way. They have no reason to be, you know what I'm saying? Opposed to those who pick and choose to do certain things in life, and we make fun of that. You can choose to do those things, and you go viral. We like, bro, you stupid.
Facts.
But when you're born with a disability that you cannot prevent, it's not funny, bro. And that's not being PC culture. That's just being real.
TikTok videos.
Now, it doesn't seem that Shane was actually offended. He was trying to just be contrarian for the sake of comedy, but Andrew's reaction was very telling. He was genuinely bent out of shape, getting loud and aggressive towards someone who didn't just mindlessly laugh at one of his jokes. This is exactly how Andrew would react when Kendrick Lamar addressed his feelings towards Andrew's jokes about black women in the song Waxed Out Murals on his new album, GNX. Kendrick rapped, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman, that's law." This single line, composed of just 12 words, absolutely derailed Andrew Schulz. He established war on Kendrick Lamar. Andrew starts off his response by essentially calling Kendrick, and all other rappers, hypocrites.
Rappers are telling comedians we need to be more respectful to women, so we gotta sit back and reflect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're the most pious group.
Listen, nobody has respected women more. Through art.
Yes.
Than rappers. Okay?
Absolutely.
So I completely understand how a rapper could look at a comedian telling a joke and be like, yo, y'all need to switch that shit.
Yeah.
How dare y'all keep saying your wives are annoying? Be more like us and, just ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. I beat my bitch with a stick. What? You can lick on the or suck the dick. I beat my bitch with a stick. What?
Now, there is no argument against generalizing much of popular rap music as misogynistic. For decades, hip-hop artists have reduced women to nothing more than sex objects, often referring to them as bitches, hoes, and other demeaning words. Now, I'm not saying Kendrick Lamar is completely innocent of perpetuating this behavior in his lyrics. However, he is not necessarily the poster child of disrespecting women in his raps. Kendrick has often called out his own hypocrisy. He has shined a light on how his trauma defines him and keeps him in cycles of perpetuating this behavior. It doesn't justify it, but discussing and self-reflecting can allow him to learn from his past and try to do better in the future.
This took a while for me to grasp the concept that all women are bitches, all women are hoes. You get what I'm saying? But when I was 16, 17 years old, that's what I was saying. All of them the same, you know what I'm saying? So it took time for me to realize, damn, my mom's not a bitch. My mom's not a hoe, my little sister is not. So now I gotta distinguish, right from wrong.
But Andrew takes it a step further and says that
we call that growth in manhood.
Yeah, that's growth.
Man is not born, a man is developed. Just because you were born male doesn't mean you're gonna automatically transition into being a man. There's a lot of males out here still act boyish, even in their 40s. Trust me, I know. But it takes life to develop you as a man, and understanding develops you as a man. So when you put on the man draws, you look at life in a different outlet. You know what I'm saying?
Different lens.
It's all about further educating yourself on how you approach a certain thing. That's the reason why over time people start using certain words and how they approach certain ideology totally different. And then people be like, man, what you think you was an educated? Yeah, I am. I'm further educating myself. You know?
Yeah.
Because a dumb man always follows another man's ways. You know?
Because Kendrick has collaborated with and celebrated rappers who often disrespect women, that makes him just as guilty.
Go back to talk about Drake, how he's a deadbeat dad, while you do songs with Future.
Rapper Future is often referred to as the Toxic King and has droves of lyrics that minimize and disrespect women, such as, anytime I got you, girl, you my possession. Even if I hit you once, you part of my collection. Or, think I might pull out my D and I pee on her. Kendrick collaborated with Future this year for the first time on a song called Like That. Unsurprisingly, Future's verse is all about having his way with women. So while many people see this as Kendrick being hypocritical, others say that just because he's not perfect doesn't mean he can't try to send a positive message.
Kendrick is a rapper. Kendrick decides he wants to stand up for black women for whatever reason. What essentially came back was, you're not qualified to stand up for black women because of look at you, because you are with a cohort of people, rappers, who in the past have been bad to black women. That argument is used anytime black people stand up for themselves in any way.
Sure.
Because there is a purity test that black people have to pass before they defend themselves.
Of course.
That is a way to keep them from defending themselves.
Shout out to Van, man. Shout out to Van Lathan. He comes from where we come from. He's like, if you really know, hey, you can't help but to salute him, right? Coming from where he comes from, we know exactly where he comes from. You know, we understand his backing. Her fellow alumni.
If you stop hitting me.
Your fellow alumni, you know. Shout out to y'all. You don't want to give me a
No, because any other time.
He ain't my alumni. He your alumni.
You be with the stuff.
He your alumni. He ain't my alumni. But shout out to him. But he also does come from our back of our, you know what I'm saying, our backyard where we come from and our neck of the woods.
To equate a black person with the worst version of what you feel a black person is culturally is a way to say, as long as you're with that, you can't say anything about what we're saying, right? Kendrick ain't never made just ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Kendrick has never said any of that stuff, but he is a rapper. Rappers say those things. He is inherently connected to the worst lyrics amongst his industry because he is with them. So he's not good enough to want to defend black women. That trick bag, whether or not Andrew knows it or not,
he knows,
has been used decade after decade after decade on black people.
Schulz also falsely claimed that Kendrick threatened to remove his music from Spotify in 2018 when a hateful content and conduct policy was enforced that removed R. Kelly, XXXTentacion, and others from Spotify editorial playlists.
Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and of R. Kelly? And actually, in reality, he would take his own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Someone who's kidnapped,
a sexual
molested,
predator? Yeah.
And black women? Oof.
Kendrick never threatened to take down his music. It was the head of his label who made the threat, which, as messed up as it sounds, actually has more power over Kendrick's music than he does. His label head, Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, told Billboard, "I don't think it's right for artists to be censored, especially in our culture. How did they just pick those artists out? How come they didn't pick out any others from any other genres or any other different cultures? There are so many other artists that have different things going on, and they could have picked anybody. But it seems to me that they're constantly picking on hip-hop culture. It's not that the label thought that R. Kelly was actually innocent, they just felt that this hateful content and conduct policy was a slippery slope that could lead to more censorship in music." Andrew also convinced himself that Kendrick needed to mention him for clout.
I didn't want to tell you because you had things to focus on.
What a time to be alive where...
I was not one of the Asians who said, good luck on your special.
I'm just saying, what a time to be alive where rappers got to talk about comedians for clout.
God bless, dude.
Like, we are up right now.
God bless.
The biggest story about the album, outside of the album and people enjoying it.
Then that's not the biggest story. Hold your words. It's not. Because honestly, amongst the black culture, what you said was not the biggest thing. No.
Yeah.
In your mind and amongst your circle, that was the biggest topic.
Facts.
But amongst the real hip-hop, real black culture, because hip-hop is black culture, no matter how people try to twist and turn it, it is black culture. It was a line. It took us off, but we kept going with other things in other album. There was a lot that impacted. And those who want to dismiss the album,
for whatever reason.
For whatever weird reason, come on now. Let's be real, bro. You can't. If you love hip hop, you understood the album.
Facts.
And I know people like, man, I know about what I hear. You're not a real hip hop guy. Because if you're a real hip hop guy, because you're looking at a real hip hop guy, I love music no matter where it comes from, wherever region it comes from. I love Midwest music. I love down south. I pay attention to Texas rap. I pay attention to every state that has a rapper come out of it. I try to tune into it. You know what I'm saying? Like in some shape, form. Now, don't get it twisted. I ain't never heard a rapper that come out of Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. I ain't never heard of it. You know what I'm saying? I say this. Even come down to South Carolina. I ain't heard no rapper to come out of South Carolina that I'm like, I could give you a name right off bat. You know what I'm saying? But from when it come down to the West Coast and all that, like the Bay Area, I know, like, you know?
Yeah.
So I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, West Coast sound. You know what I'm saying? I used to follow the West Coast, and I've never been to the West Coast. Never step a foot. But it was such an impact in my life at a point, people thought I was from Cali. When I came to college, people was like, where you from, Cali? I was like, no, I'm just heavily influenced by the Cali music right now. You know what I'm saying? I would listen to I Am Sue, them straight out of Problem, straight out of the West Coast. Always Nipsey, Dom, and all them. T-Fly, TC 4800, YG, all of. I was heavily influenced with every last sound coming out. But I'm very much so deeply rooted in down south where I'm listening to Player Fly with 3 6 Mafia, Yo Gotti, all them, Spanish Fly, all them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just a hip hop guy. But my favorite rapper, this stuff do come from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? I was a big fan of Q-Tip and all the old school, early 90s and 80s hip hop coming out of New York. I'm very much so a railroaded hip hop head. So for people to shit on the album like the album ain't good.
Yeah.
You ain't a real hip hop rap head. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand the essence of the culture.
Thanks.
Was a sub at a comedian?
Kendrick dissed me for clout. How delusional and oblivious can you be, bro? Schulz continues to call Kendrick a hypocrite by pointing out that he has a musical comedy in production with the creators of South Park.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
That makes sense.
Because he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan
true.
if he's going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
It is true that Lamar is pairing with the South Park creators, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, on a feature-length film. The film will depict the past and present coming to a head when a young black man who is interning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum discovers that his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his. Paramount Film Chief Brian Robbins said, "The script is one of the funniest and most original scripts we've ever read, and it's certain to create some fireworks when it hits theaters on July 4th, 2025. And yes, I'm sure you all know, South Park has aimed jokes at black people countless times over the years."
Here we see a black person eating chicken and watermelon, a stereotype that hurts the African American community.
Okay, well, looks like you're gonna get a lot of help here. Category is people who annoy you. Audience, keep quiet, please. 10 seconds, Mr. Marsh.
We've seen this one before.
Yeah. We I ain't gonna hold you. We were reacting to South Park. I don't know why we stopped, but we reacted to South Park over on our Patreon. We probably should start back. We just got so much we're doing on Patreon right now, and it's a lot of time consuming over there on Patreon. So y'all go check that out. Link in the description by plug.
I know it, but I don't think I should say it.
Now, in all fairness, South Park has made jokes about literally every race, every religion, every ethnicity, every gender, every disability. They have joked on everyone equally, which is the exact same ethos that Andrew lives by.
I will say, as far as that line goes, we're gonna make fun of everybody, and that's just the reality of the matter. Is everyone gets these jokes? That's the ethos of the show. It's the ethos of the comedy that we do. And the second you start, and he just might not be aware of it. I don't know if he's doing it to sell records or if he's doing it because he just thinks it rhymes or it looks good, or he's taking advantage of like a viral moment, knowing that we'll react and knowing the internet will react. But the reality is, the second that you make a group protected, everything else becomes racist. You're either racist to that group or you're racist to everybody else. And when you make fun of everybody, that is the one beautiful thing that allows us to kind of come together and laugh at ourselves and each other. I've been very fortunate to travel the world making fun of people of all different race, religions, cultures to their face, everywhere around the world.
That is
everywhere. And they've had an incredible sense of humor about it. They're coming out specifically to see that happen.
However, things took a strange turn when Schulz started pondering the idea of him and Kendrick in a one-on-one fight.
You want to squabble up with Kenny?
No. I mean, here's the thing. This is the thing that is kind of funny about it, is like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. There's nothing he can do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, no,
You said that's what?
I just said interesting.
Oh, you said that's interesting. I said this, just because a man's size doesn't mean anything. I seen a small. I told y'all about a 5'2" dude knocking out a 6'1" dude. If you don't know about this story, I did. Did I speak on this?
I can't say where because you.
I can't say where. I be telling stories all the time. Why you got to tune in. You get a lot of my backing, but I have seen a 5'2" dude, and I mean swell up a 6'1" dude. I mean swell up, got knots.
I just be wondering what possessed some people to say some of the things they say. As far as like that, they're coming. I'm like, what?
People who come from backings like Kendrick, they got them hands, bro. I don't care how much gang and gun violence goes on in them neighborhoods. First thing you gonna ever learn is how to use them hands, bro. Like that just comes from the nature. Like, so don't think Kendrick ain't probably got no hands just because he the good kid in a mad city. It's a mad city for a reason.
Yeah.
And even the good kids got to learn how to squabble.
Yeah. There you go. But for facts though.
It's the truth.
No, it's true.
About physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well.
You know what's so crazy though?
Say it.
Hold on.
Because I wonder if we thinking the same thing.
It's too many. Let this be Mason Cameron, right?
Yeah.
And Cameron say some shit like this.
Yeah.
You know what the first thing Mason gonna do?
Yeah.
Yo, pause, man. Pause. Like what? He was like, nah, G, I'm talking. But you got a black man who's sitting up here. Y'all ain't saying pause, but if I came up and said some shit like
I'm
that,
thinking the
it's
same
all
thing.
pause. Hold on, what you mean, kid?
And again, like I said, not making it whatever, but it's so
But
crazy
it do
to me.
be like that.
It do though. It do. Like, let's just be real. It's so crazy to me how much I'm just gonna say, well, I'll just say, since we speaking in regards to him, how much a white man can get off. Like, because like you said, if it was somebody that looked like you up here talking like that, and you talking to another black man about another black man, or whatever the case may be, however it is, you couldn't get away with a lot of stuff. They'd be ready to check you, if not more. So it's just so crazy to me, the things that like certain people can
We
get
be
up
having
here
to say
like,
pause and all this. We be like, hold on.
I don't use the word pause, but I know dudes
I
do
don't.
and stuff
I really
like that.
don't use it like that either, because I try not to even go down that lane. But I listen to podcasts of black men, and they be having to say pause, and I be like, bro, y'all say pause too damn much now.
Everything.
Bro.
So it's just.
But also, I ain't finna just say I'll take another.
That's crazy.
Hey, we ran out of board games and we did all the other things. We cleaned everything.
Let's put him in a cell with my boy. See who get the booty tape for real.
First of all, let's
Fleece. Where you at, Fleece?
put him.
Put him in a cell with Fleece.
Yeah.
If I want you, I'm gonna have you. You can do the easy way or the hard way. But Fleece gonna get that. Hey, if he want to talk on it,
he is unhinged.
And I'm like, man, I might as well you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. Maybe
Mark,
I'll let him choose a
why
position.
are you pulling this picture up, Mark? Why are you doing this?
Look at, put up that picture of him and Travis Kelce's girl. Look at that shit.
Oh my God, dude, that's unbelievable.
Yo, I'll be honest. I would go so far as to say I don't think he could stop most people on the planet from having sex with her.
I heard he got them hands though.
Like the only reason he got security is to stop people from having sex with him whenever he wants.
Up until this point, Andrew could be seen as rightfully defending himself and making somewhat decent points. However, making a joke that he could and would assault an R-word Kendrick was potentially crossing a line. Meek Mill thought so. He tweeted, "White men saying they'll R-word black men openly is extreme, and then say it's just a joke. Black manhood is not a joke. I seen the same guy saying I was gay on his stand-up. My white friends like, it's a joke. We don't joke like that in the black community at all." O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, simply called him a weirdo for his jokes in a tweet that has 6.3 million views. Andrew replied with "Google No Vaseline" by Ice Cube, basically insinuating that O'Shea's own father has made a song about R-word. The ironic part is that if Schulz Googled what No Vaseline was about, he would have learned that it was a diss track towards his former group, NWA, and their manager, Jerry Heller, who had them locked in a horrible business contract. O'Shea replied, "A metaphor about getting effed business-wise by your manager. It's not the same, homie. He ain't call you a bitch. He ain't say F you, didn't even say your name. And your response was buck breaking. Shit was just crazy." However, others stepped up to defend Schulz. "LOL, y'all mad at Andrew Schulz but push this tough ass no rules hip hop culture. Dudes talk about murder."
Hold on. And that's how you know whoever behind this platform is honestly, they're not black. They don't understand hip hop culture because there are rules within the hip hop culture. There has never been a no rules hip hop culture. Hip hop culture always has been originated from the streets. No matter what people think, the streets actually do have certain rules and certain things you need to follow by. It is, and I'm not just talking about no snitching. Mm-hmm. I'm not just don't snitch. That's part of the culture. No, it's other things. We just don't speak on it. Yeah. Everything we do in our culture, we don't bring it to the internet and speak on it. People just automatically assume and think they know what the fuck going on in black culture. And a lot of people, the younger generation, needs to stop speaking on everything that's going on in the culture. Y'all be too loose on the internet for fucking attention. Hell, cry to your mama if you need some damn attention. But I hate people who speak and never show a fucking face.
Yeah.
Have a profile picture of yourself. Let people know who the fuck you are. Don't just come to the internet and be speaking and talking and you live behind a fucking...
Yeah.
Pimping, sex trafficking, smacking hoes, drill etc., and clutch your pearls at a joke. And yes, a joke from the Patrice O'Neal, Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor, Bill Burr type of comedy eras. The culture calls Drake not like us and drags him for days because he dared to take legal action against his predominantly white label for allegedly using payola to sabotage his career and contract negotiations. The culture then turns around and calls for the cancellation of a white comedian who made a joke and pointed out Kendrick's hypocrisy.
Again, a motherfucker who don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Despite the internet raining down on Andrew, he refused to back down or apologize. He believed he was right, and he suggested the reason why he kept the beef alive was because he was receiving death threats from internet trolls.
Death threats to them, death threats to me.
And I was getting death.
Of course, death threats to me. Death threats to me, death threats to my family, telling they're gonna kill my daughter, posting on my daughter's picture.
We still haven't posted an app.
We haven't talked, I don't talk about it for 2 weeks. Right? I go, okay.
I would say taking it to his family is not cool. That's not cool for anyone. Let's be real. Because they didn't speak on it. They didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? If you any hate you got, direct it towards this man, but not towards his family. That ain't got nothing to do with the words that come out of his mouth. That's with anybody, right?
Saying death threats to all of us, you gonna talk shit about my dog? Okay, it's up. I'm a your man. Right? Because if we saying anything, it's like, let's have some fun.
It's still fun.
Your man.
It's still funny.
Right?
Sexual love.
No, but then we're gonna do the molding of his butt. I'm hanging it on the wall.
Schulz tripled down on his comments during a podcast with Charlemagne the God, where Andrew repeated all his same arguments, how Kendrick is a rapper, and rappers promote misogyny, and how he couldn't fight him one-on-one, and how he is a hypocrite for collaborating with the South Park creators.
So the guys that created South Park are two white guys, and they've made jokes about black women.
Well, they make jokes about everybody.
Oh my God! Hold on. What did you say?
Now, they do have a character.
What did you say?
What's the character, the black character? Token. And they do.
So, but I will say though, like what he said earlier, he was like Kendrick used this for clout. No, it's actually a reverse. Andrews has been running with this ever since the lyric came out. Mm-hmm. So it's not Kendrick used you for clout, you're using him for clout. Mm-hmm. So, because there's no way I'm still going to be talking about this every time. Every week, there's soon as it gets ready to die down, he got to bring it back up with somebody else.
Some
I
way.
remember I seen these couple of these clips. I seen some of them. I just said, bro, here we go again, bro. You can at least let it die and it goes away. Like, we live in an age where there's something that's popping off all the time. Yeah. Where if you really want it to be irrelevant, just stop fucking talking about it. It's going to go away.
Simple.
Same way with the Drake situation. If Drake lets it go, people will stop. They're gonna play the song regardless. The song gonna be a hit for the next 5 to 10 years. It is what it is. It's a bop. Long anything that's a bop is gonna go. Yeah. It is what it is. But Drake, all you gotta do is shut the hell up, dip off for a little while, come back with some hot flaming music with some of the hottest younger producers. You know what you do. Yeah. Just do what you always do. It is what it is.
And then for him,
it will get you back relevant. That's all you got to do. Point blank period. That's with anybody. Yeah. If you're good, you're talented, be quiet for a while. Lay low, go to work, come back. This is a very fickle society. Society is just that weird. They ride the wave of whoever hot at the moment. That's all it has been. Do people actually like it? We don't know. It's just you're hot for the moment. This is a very hot for the moment world that we live in. They have always been like this. You know, like no matter what generation it is, no matter when it is, or whoever it is, as long as people love you, and as long as the head people love you, everybody loves you. As soon as the head people stop liking you, don't nobody fuck with you. And that's because at the bottom, nobody really mess with you from the jump anyways. Mm-hmm. They just rode the wave of everybody else at the top.
True.
Same way with you, Andrew. Just shut up and talking about it, bro. And I ain't gonna hold you, Charlemagne, because you always speaking on the behalf of black people. I would have expected more out of him from this whole situation, because with anybody else, you stand on that. But I do understand that's your business partner, and you might not want to ruffle some feathers, but you also, if it's your homie, you correct your homie.
Facts.
So
they do make jokes, like they did earlier this year. They did do the episode about Lizzo. They do make jokes about everybody. Like, everybody gets it on South Park. And see, that is what. That's
do you know who you're talking to?
Now, I don't really know what's going on.
Well, if
I don't know.
Everybody gets these jokes.
Okay, that I know.
Everybody. Mustard gets it. Mayo gets it. Okay? Duck sauce gets it. Okay? Curry gets it.
But the joke.
Curry gets it.
Oh, you talking about the season?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were talking about Steph one. Indians? So,
I'm talking about Indians. That's Indians. We're doing it for each group of people. Everybody get these jokes. That's the rule.
Taylor, what's the line?
But Kendrick got specific laws.
Says, never
Kendrick got to protect women from comedians as long as he's got an album coming out.
I'm just looking for.
Listen, Kendrick's got to stand up for you ladies.
The last verse.
As long as he could profit from it, he got to stand up for you ladies.
Andrew even tried to take it as far as suggesting that he didn't know the angry black woman stereotype existed.
And I could see what people say you might have been reinforcing the stereotype of
yes, black women.
Black women being angry.
Yes.
But the joke was black men.
I didn't even know that was a stereotype.
Black men.
Yeah, the fuck you did, because you insinuated. By even
I
talking about the
swear.
abuse of why are you having to grow a beard is because the black woman is gonna hit you. That's reinforcing a stereotype that you obviously know about. You can't sit up here and lie and say you never heard of a stereotype, but the whole thing is based off a stereotype you tried to.
Make it make sense.
And then honestly, bro, I understand the position. Girl putting trying to ride, but this also is a bad look on you as well, because you're supposed to be you're a black lady, but I don't know how you truly
And
identify.
it's ways to speak up for yourself, or it's ways to speak up for yourself or check someone or let someone know, like.
But they trying to be in this professional journalism state where I don't want to be controversial because I don't want to come off as the. Because anytime a black woman speak up for themselves, they are deemed as what?
The angry black woman. And I've gotten it a lot just from speaking up for myself. Like, in the workplace. Like, it's...
Oh, shit, we don't... Yeah.
It's crazy. Because I'm standing up for myself, because I'm not about to let you walk over me. I'm not about to let you... I'm not kissing no tail. I'm not doing this, that, and the third. Yeah. But I'm considered angry because I'm telling you...
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like,
yeah, I know.
And it's crazy. It's
crazy.
Like,
and that's the thing. If you don't,
and I've seen
if I don't yes master or kiss your ass, then
I've seen worse. Like from other people that don't look like me, do the same things or speak up for themselves or whatever the case. But they get away. It's nothing. But I'm considered the angry black woman. Like, you scared of me because I'm like.
Oh yeah,
you know, like
he did say that. He did say you.
Like, it's crazy, and I feel like I'm pretty calm. Like
we both have been.
You have to really like do something to take me there.
I don't know how you're gonna take it. And I can't. You're like, but what about me? Like, you can't. Like, you just like, if you're afraid. Like, why are you afraid of me?
Like, huh?
Why? Because I'm black. I'm young and I'm black.
You how big?
But you gotta also pay attention to where you was though.
Yeah.
Where you was the young black women that did work there. The older black women, he wasn't so much, you know what I'm saying. But it was the younger black girls there.
Whatever it was.
That's weird though, right?
Yeah. Well, I would say the ones that was a little bit older were the ones that was kissing butt, and I'm not doing it. Like, I'm here to do my job, and that's it. So if I speak up for myself because of some BS or something you said or did, because they did used to be on some shady, some little under the table type of shady comments and stuff. I'm not having it. I'm not doing it, and I will come to you in the nicest way. So in settings like this, there's ways to approach things. You don't have to. I'm not coming at you rah, but I'm going to let you know, even if it's no, do it on camera. Since you're doing things on camera, do it on camera. In this way, you can still address situations or let and that did make me feel some type of way. If it did, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody, because some people, whatever. But I don't know.
Right, you right though.
Andrew.
I just thought you were angry. I didn't know it was like a whole black woman thing. I just thought it was a you to me thing.
Fans were disappointed with Charlemagne pretending that he has no idea what's going on when he has been a large voice in hip-hop commentary for the past 15 years. And he has co-hosted the Brilliant Idiots podcast alongside Schulz for the past 5 years.
Money. That's all it is.
Yeah.
People would choose money over a lot of things and a lot of times. This is his business partner under. I know he got a conglomerate of podcasts underneath, but it's money.
Additionally, he pressed Post Malone in 2015 for not doing enough for Black Lives Matter.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
What?
I don't know.
Don't take the approach at one point, but not
yes.
enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. If anything.
Charlemagne has criticized many white rappers for appropriating black culture, as he tends to interpret the behavior of these white rappers as a form of mockery of black stereotypes. But when Andrew was directly making fun of black people, he just pretended he had no idea what was going on. The crazy part is Kendrick was actually talking more about people like Charlemagne than Schulz.
Bingo. Schulz trying to run off with it. You know what I'm saying? And he really are addressing more about the Charlemagnes and the shits and gigs of the world. Not the
people
Andrew
that sit
Schulz.
and let them do it.
And the manner that they do it.
And
in front of you, in your face.
And that's why I said in the beginning with the S&G, I'm just going to call it S&G.
Oh yeah. James
with S&G.
I hate butchering people's name. That's S&G.
Even with them, and that's why I said in the beginning with them, it was more so of the fact that y'all sat there and didn't say anything. It's after the fact. Now because you see the outrage or whatever, now you want to like, oh my gosh, like that made me feel some type of way too. Well, if it made you feel some type of way, regardless, fight or flight, still in that moment, check that person. Or if things were being cut out, cut it out. If it made you feel some type of way as well.
Say that wasn't a good light. We need to get that.
We're not putting that out there. So it is more so of the people that sit and don't say anything when y'all are in these rooms with these people.
Yeah.
And that's my problem that I have. Because people be too scared to speak up.
Because that's the thing. It's not about Andrew. Andrew is Andrew.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Andrews out here that are 10 times worse. That walks amongst you on your workplace, whatever. That's who they are. No, like if a person lets you know who they are, believe them. See it and keep it moving. But it's the ones who sit there and they blatantly do it in your face.
I dare you check me.
Yeah.
And you don't check them.
Those are the people he's directing towards.
Yeah.
He was speaking to his people, not your people.
That's why he's so quiet. And if you listen to the song again, you'll see Kendrick called him out perfectly. The fact that Charlo roasts every other white person but quiet about Schulz is crazy. This whole situation is the perfect example of the modern day comedian's response to criticism of unfunny material. Comedy defenders will remain firm in their stance that when it comes to jokes, everything is on the table. Nothing or no one is off limits. And as a fan of stand-up comedy myself, I do agree with that ethos. Go ahead, shoot your shot. I think we have all laughed at some pretty horrible things. In the midst of all this chaos, Andrew did make some reasonable points. There is a hypocritical nature of people who are casting criticism on Andrew while praising Kendrick. However, what not many people are saying is that simply Andrew's joke was not funny. So he can make all the good points that he wants, but he still failed to do his one job as a comedian: make you laugh.
And you want me to say the main reason why he doesn't think it's like whatever he said was offensive?
Yeah.
Is mainly because the black guy sitting there on the couch just continues to laugh.
Yeah. You condone the behavior, so you see nothing wrong with it. And other people that you've been in rooms with,
and the way he gets away with it, he has put people in the couch to represent so many other different cultures. So when I tell a joke, I have somebody here that represents that culture that's gonna say, no, he's fine with doing that.
And I laugh at a lot of things, whatever. If I'm not sensitive to things, but your remarks wasn't funny, it wasn't a joke, and y'all like dress it up as, oh, it's just a joke. No, it was not a joke, and it was not funny. But we've laughed. We do comedy, and they talk about all type of stuff. If it's funny, I'll laugh at it. Like I'm not easily offended by things, but with like the angry black woman thing, that is tiring. Like it's been happening for too long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
But hey man, y'all spam us up in the comments for us, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ Do Here. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
We
out.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear